Have you ever pondered on how the ancient Egyptians fathomed the daily celestial dance of the sun, its morning ascension and twilight retreat? It's a question that fascinates us still today, as we delve into the rich tapestry of their ancient civilization, their belief systems, and their enduring cultural wisdom. The answer, according to the Egyptians, was steeped in the complex and rich mythology of Ra, the revered and omnipotent sun god. Ra wasn't merely a deity in the conventional sense, but the embodiment of the sun's relentless power and the life-giving force it bestows upon the earth. The ancient Egyptians believed that Ra was born from the primordial abyss of Nun, the watery chaos that predated existence itself. His birth was not a mere event, but a cosmogonic phenomenon that marked the dawn of creation. In the ancient Egyptian city of Heliopolis, the birthplace of this myth, Ra's arrival into the world was visualized in the most poetic and vivid of manners. According to their belief, he emerged from an egg, a symbol of life's potentiality and the universe's latent promise. In some other narratives, Ra was believed to have bloomed out from a lotus flower, a symbol of purity and spiritual awakening that floated gently atop the swirling, chaotic sea. The moment Ra emerged, it was a turning point in the cosmic clock. His emergence ignited the darkness, dispersing obscurity with his radiant warmth. The sight would have been an awe-inspiring spectacle, a blaze of divine light piercing the veil of eternal night. In his wake, Ra brought forth creation, sparking life and order into a previously empty and formless void. His emergence brought light, dispelling the darkness and bringing forth creation. Ra didn't merely represent the sun, he symbolized light, warmth and growth. This was not a simple symbolic interpretation, it was an embodiment of life's elemental forces that the ancient Egyptians revered and adored. Ra, as the sun god, was not just a celestial body that rose and set each day, he was the radiant that brought life to the world. The sun's daily journey was a powerful narrative that found its depiction in ancient Egyptian lore. Ra's story began at the dawn of creation, a time when the universe was formless and ancient. This was a realm of darkness, until Ra emerged from the primordial waters, bringing with him light, warmth, and growth. He was not just the creator of the world, but the primeval force that birthed the cosmos and nourished it with his life-giving energy. Throughout his existence, Ra's actions symbolized the natural of life and death, renewal and decay. His journey across the sky mirrored the cycle of life, which was another reason why he held such an important place in ancient Egyptian mythology. It was during this dawn of creation that Ra undertook a task that would shape the universe and the Egyptian pantheon. He created the first divine couple, Shu, the god of air, and Tefnut, the goddess of moisture. Their union was not just a marriage. It was a celestial event that set the stage for the birth of the earth god Geb and the sky goddess Nut. These new gods in turn gave birth to Osiris, Isis, Seth, and Nephthys, gods who played key roles in the elaborate myths of ancient Egypt. Such was the foundational narrative that Ra played a central role in, shaping the belief system of a civilization. The mythology of Ra wasn't stagnant. It evolved over the centuries, reflecting the complex and changing nature of the ancient Egyptian civilization. From the early days of the civilization, Ra occupied a prominent place in the pantheon of gods worshipped by the Egyptians. Harboring an aura of divine superiority, Ra, the sun god, was an embodiment of creation and resurrection, encapsulating the quintessence of life itself. In the epoch of the Old Kingdom, spanning several centuries, Ra was revered predominantly as a creator deity. His significance was multifold, as he was believed to birth the world each day afresh, with the rising. He was the epitome of eternal renewal and the harbinger of life, indicative of the Egyptians' profound understanding of the cyclical nature of existence. Nevertheless, as the civilization transitioned into the Middle Kingdom, the conceptualization of Ra began to his mythical narrative started intertwining with the temporal world, associating more closely with the mortal rulers of Egypt. The pharaohs, commanding absolute power and authority, were increasingly seen as the earthly embodiment of Ra. This interlinking of the divine with the temporal was a pivotal shift in the religious and political landscape of ancient Egypt, signifying the pharaoh's divine right to rule. However, during the Middle Kingdom, Ra was increasingly associated with the pharaohs, who were considered his earthly embodiment. One of the most famous myths is about Ra's daily journey across the sky. This legendary voyage, a tale deeply embedded in ancient Egyptian mythology, takes place every single day without fail. As the morning sun begins to paint the sky with hues of orange and pink, Ra, the great sun god, awakens from his rest. This is no ordinary awakening, but a divine that stirs life into the world. Emerging gloriously in the east, Ra sets forth on his journey, marking the break of dawn. This moment is more than the mere rise of the sun. It is the resurrection of the divine, a source of warmth and light, a beacon of hope that chases the darkness of the night. With each sunrise, the world awakens to the power and might of Ra, a renewal of life and a ceaseless affirmation of his rule. The sun god does not roam the sky aimlessly. Instead, he travels purposefully in a solar boat, a celestial vessel known as the Manjet, or the boat of millions of years. This grand ship is not bound by time or space. It sails across the arc of the sky, carried by the steady rhythm of the cosmos. It is a sublime spectacle, a cosmic testament to the timeless endurance of Ra. As the sky gradually transitions into shades of gold and purple, Ra's journey reaches its inevitable conclusion. The sun dips low, casting long shadows as Ra prepares for the final leg of his journey. Dusk descends, marking the end of daylight, the closing of another chapter in Ra's eternal saga. In this moment, Ra descends into the underworld, or the Duat, signifying death and rebirth. Ra's journey through the underworld was fraught with danger. As the golden sun god of ancient Egypt, Ra embarked on an arduous voyage each night when darkness fell upon the land. His duty was to traverse the treacherous labyrinth of the underworld, a realm shrouded in mystery and teeming with malevolent beings. The most formidable of all these nefarious creatures was the serpent demon, Apep, the embodiment of chaos and destruction. As fierce as he was vile, Apep was a relentless adversary, continuously standing in Ra's path, threatening to consume him and plunge the world into eternal darkness. Apep was no ordinary foe. His venomous gaze was fear-inducing, and his monstrous size was enough to intimidate even the bravest of gods. His scales glistened in the eerie light of the underworld. His eyes glowed like embers in night, each hiss echoing amongst the stillness of the underworld, amplifying the terror he incited. Yet Ra was not alone in his struggle. Assisting him on his perilous journey were other gods and the spirits of the deceased, their combined strength aiding him in his nightly battles. These loyal allies used their unique abilities to thwart Apep's advances, standing firm in their defense of the sun god and the order he represented. Against all odds, Ra, with the assistance of these brave souls, defeated Apep time and again. The triumphant god ensured that dawn broke, the searing rays of the sun banishing the darkness and all signs of the serpent's nightly reign. This daily triumph over the malevolent serpent symbolized the victory of order over chaos. In the new kingdom, Ra became fused with the god Amun, becoming Amun-Ra, a supreme solar deity who was worshipped as the king of gods. This reflected the political and religious changes in ancient Egypt, where Amun's cult gained prominence. The mythology of Ra is rich, complex, and deeply symbolic, reflecting the ancient Egyptians' understanding of the natural world, their religious beliefs, and their cultural evolution. To summarize, the sun god Ra was a central figure in ancient Egyptian mythology. Born from the chaos of none, he brought forth creation. As a solar deity, he symbolized light, warmth, and growth, and was intimately connected with the pharaohs. His daily journey across the sky and his battles with the serpent demon Apep represented the cycle of death and rebirth, and the triumph of order over chaos. Lastly, the fusion of Ra with Amun signified political and religious shifts in ancient Egypt. The mythology of Ra tells us not just about ancient Egyptian religion, but also offers a window into their understanding of the world and their place in it.